want to talk about mindfulness and spirituality and healing. For many years now, there has been a lot of evidence stacking up around mindfulness and healing our physical and mental health. The key aspect that I see that is part of that is that as we learn to still our mind, what happens is that we create the ability for us to see and access our inner being, our deepest intuitive self. So we're learning to live life not caught here in our mind and ego. When we're here, we're always trying to be the person that we think others want us to be, or we're trying to live up to societal expectations, or we've set really high expectations of ourselves and judging ourselves if we don't meet that. And what happens with mindfulness is we start to slow it all down. We start to listen to our hearts or our soul. And what happens as you do that is you start to be able to not worry so much about being the person that others expect us to be, but rather just to be true to ourselves, to listen to our inner being. Along the way, we learn to acknowledge our emotions with compassion and acceptance. We often learn to see patterns of behaviour that we may have in the world that aren't really helping us, and we can slowly, as we acknowledge those with compassion, we can learn how to change them. And all the time we're learning to listen more and more to our hearts. The more silence we can create, if you like, from that really busy mind, the more we will be able to listen to our inner being and live more from that. There is a spirituality in that as we quieten our mind and we listen in, we can access that life essence that animates everything, animates us and animates every living thing around us. And as we connect to our inner being, we are also connecting to that in others, to that in other living things. And it's very beautiful. There is nothing more fulfilling or nurturing than that. So many of us in the world are exhausted or overwhelmed. And really, once we learn to tune into that wellspring of life essence, then we feel a lot more fulfilled. I think you'll find mindfulness and spirituality very valuable.